Hello, this is Kimio Miyamoto. I am a teacher of Buddhism. I would like to share about the teaching of Buddha. Today is the first lecture. Please enjoy yourself by watching this video. Excuse me. Shakyamuni Buddha attained the Buddha's enlightenment at age of 35. What was his life like before he attained enlightenment? To know this is to know the teaching of Buddha. About 2600 years ago, in what is now known as Nepal, King Siddhartha and Queen Mahamaya lived in the castle of Kapilavastu. At around the age of 40, maybe 50, Queen Mahamaya gave birth to her son named Siddhartha Gautama. He was born into the Shaka clan in the beautiful village of Lumbini. King Siddhartha was determined to raise the prince as a great king and heir to the throne. He called upon to the kingdom's most renowned, famous scholars to instruct his son, Dalai Badalani in the literary arts and Sendai in the military arts. The prince excelled in both of these arts, and he was second to none. One day, Badalani came to see the king. The king suspected that prince was not doing well in studies, but discovered it was just the opposite. The scholar told him, "Your Majesty, the young prince is so smart that he can grasp 100 different ideas if he just hears one of them once. I have nothing more to teach and can no longer be of service to your son. May I please be excused from my service?" The king could not say anything or do anything but accept his request. Subsequently, the king had another visit, this time from Sendai, his son's master in the military arts. The king cried out in disbelief, "You didn't come here to resign, did you?" Sendai replied, "Your Majesty, the prince excels in everything, and there is nothing more for me to teach. Please call me a crackshot." And people call me a crackshot, and I may miss one shot out of 100. Yet the prince never misses a target. This is just one example. He is a master of all military arts. Please allow me to resign from my service. Indeed, Siddhartha was not only blessed with fortune, materials, and status as a future king, but was also gifted in all fields. As Prince Siddhartha grew older, he became often absorbed in deep thoughts. King Siddhartha also noticed that Siddhartha had become more and more contemplative. Siddhartha was struggling. He was torn between his mathematical concerns, metaphysical concerns, and his duty to his father and the kingdom. The king became worried and thought he should do something to make his son happy. Maybe he needed a wife, he thought. Before long, the most beautiful woman in the kingdom was chosen to marry Siddhartha. Her name was Yashodhara. the daughter of a wealthy king. The prince was 19 when he married, and soon regained his good spirits and lived happily for a while. The king was relieved and thought his worries were over. His worries were over, but the prince had a strong urge to see the world beyond the castle compound. One day he asked his guards to take him outside the castle. He exited the castle through the east gate. Everything was new to him, and the prince was very excited. As he walked outside the castle, he encountered an old, erring man with a wrinkled face and a cane. The prince became fearful at the sight of the old man, for he had never seen such a person. The prince asked, "What is wrong with him? What is wrong with the man? Why he's walking like that?" The guards answered, "He's an old man. He was once young, but now he's old and can walk only with a cane." This happened to all people. No one can remain young forever. "Am I going to be old too?" implored the prince. "Yes. Once born, people are bound to age and become old." Shocked at the realization of aging, the prince returned to the castle despondently. After some time, the prince again decided to explore the world beyond the castle. This time, he exited the castle from the south gate. He walked with the guards, looking around with curiosity. They came upon a man on the ground with a contorted face, moaning in pain. The man could not walk and continued to moan as he was picked up and carried away. Siddhartha was startled and asked, "What is the matter with him?" The guards replied, "He is ill. He is pain and cannot walk." "How did he get sick?" inquired the prince. "Everyone eventually becomes sick. We begin to age the moment we are born and are exposed to various diseases throughout our lives." The prince was saddened by the news. Siddhartha thought to himself, "Why are we born? Just to be old and sick?" He did not want to walk anymore and returned to the castle in a melancholic state. He reflected, "Why do people live? What is the purpose of life?" The more he learned of human suffering, the more he wanted to know the meaning of life. More time passed, and Siddhartha decided to once again explore the outside world. This time he exited the castle through the west gate. During this excursion, he saw a funeral. There were many people gathering around the coffin and crying. There was a profound sadness in the air. This time, the prince learned of the inescapable end to human life, death. As people are born, they become old and sick and eventually die. Siddhartha grew pensive and pondered. Is there anything more to life besides birth, old age, sickness, and death? What should be done on the journey of human life? We must have a purpose, or else life would only mean suffering. Though I am young and healthy, I am no different than others. I will become sick, old, and die someday. Why must I go through these painful events? Unable to identify the true meaning of life, Siddhartha became dispirited. Finally, Siddhartha exit the castle through the north gate. During this walk, the prince observed a very calm man, meditating with his eyes closed. "What is he doing?" asked the prince. "The man is a monk, engaged in all ascetic practice. On learning that everything in this world is fleeting, he decided to seek the purpose of life. He is training in hopes of attaining enlightenment so that he can transcend this world of impermanence and achieve genius happiness." Ultimately, he made a difficult decision to follow his spiritual path and asked the king, "Father, please allow me to leave the castle so that I may seek true happiness." Startled and dismayed, the king burst out, "Why do you make such a request? What are you lacking? I will give you everything you wish. Tell me your desires and I will grant them to you." The prince replied, "I have 3 wishes." "And what are those wishes?" inquired the king. "My first wish is not to grow older. I want to remain young forever. My second wish is to never become ill. I want to stay healthy forever. My third wish is that I will not die," revealed the prince. Upon hearing his son's wishes, the king exclaimed, "That's impossible. Why would you ask for the impossible?" Siddhartha Gautama was blessed with youth and talent. He also had health status, a beautiful wife, and a healthy child, everything that one can wish for. Yet he knew that such so-called happiness was fleeting and that it would eventually leave him. Keenly aware about the impermanence of worldly happiness, the prince was unable to feel the true peace of mind and satisfaction. What is true happiness? What is true happiness? How can I attain happiness that does not fade? These questions lingered in his mind, and his desire to seek the truth grew stronger by the day. Finally, Siddhartha Gautama left the castle in a quest for true happiness. It was the 8th of February, and he was 29 years old. Traveling deep into the mountains, he led the life of an ascetic with unparalleled intensity for the next 6 years. At the age of 35, on December 8th, at last Siddhartha rebelled over his inner beast, of temptation and reached Buddha's attainment, Buddha's enlightenment. From then on, he was called Shakyamuni Buddha. He devoted the rest of his life to conveying the true purpose of life, the attainment of imperishable, eternal happiness, until his death at the age of 80 on February 15. All of Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings are recorded in what are known as sutras. There are more than 7,000 sutras. They are collectively called the complete sutras. What is taught in these 7,000 volumes of sutras? If you read one sutra a day, how many years will have passed by the time you finish reading all of them? About 20 years. So, if you are 20 years old, you will become 40 years old. If you are 40, you will be 60. We don't want to think about that. And of course, each sutra has a really deep meaning, which is why it is very difficult to understand their true meanings. On top of that, unfortunately, there is no full English translation of complete sutras. The complete sutras only exist in an ancient Indian language called Sanskrit, and have also been translated into Chinese. But in Buddhist history, over the past 2,500 years, the people who had read the complete sutra in their entirety. One of the most famous masters who did that is Master Shinran. Master Shinran was born in Japan about 800 years ago. He read the complete sutras many times and taught the teachings of Buddha collectively. Earlier, we learned that enlightenment is awareness of the truth of the universe that leads all people to happiness. So Master Shinran also taught the truth of the universe that leads all people to happiness. I am learning the teaching of Master Shinran, the teachings of Buddha, and trying to share them. Buddhism taught how to obtain absolute happiness, which is true peace of mind and full satisfaction that does not fade, even in the face of old age, illness, and death. Within the 7,000 sutras, there are just two things that need to be explained. The first one is, what is unchangeable happiness like? And the other is, then, how can we attain that happiness? If you listen to these teachings, you will be able to know what true happiness is and how to attain that happiness. So, please continue to listen to Buddhism from this YouTube. I hope you will enjoy listening to this YouTube. Thank you very much for listening to Buddhism in this channel. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Please continue to listen to Buddhism. See you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.